Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So today, now a lot of you might not have even noticed because my upload schedule has been bad, but I have been unbanned from YouTube. A couple days after I uploaded my last video, I logged on and YouTube informed me that a video from years ago got a strike, which meant I couldn't upload for 7 days. I'm gonna kind of want to talk about that more at the end of the video, but before, we have a very special video to get to. We are gonna be making a chocolate bar from the fruit it comes from, a cacao pod. Before these, I had never seen one in person, and I want to do this because one thing I find really interesting is seeing the process of how things are made. Whether it's something in a factory or food, I think seeing the process of something going from earth to the product we use is a fascinating thing to see. I don't know, this is something I just thought of and I was gonna do for fun myself. So I figured I would try to make it into a video. I've never tried this before, so this will be my first attempt. I hope it's not bad, because whatever the end result is, I'm eating it. So it can't go to waste. I spent like $80 importing these. But the end goal will be to have my own made chocolate bar. On brand, of course. They'll all be in the shape of a pineapple because, I mean, I'm obsessed with pineapples, guys. It's all I eat. So I think I've done enough talking. Let's begin the process. I acquired 3 cacao pods. These things grow on trees. A lot of them, like apples almost. If you think about it, chocolate comes from this fruit, and which comes from a plant. So chocolate is kind of healthy. It's more the sugar and milk that we add to it that we associate it as a dessert and unhealthy. When it's just raw chocolate, it's actually good for you. Anything raw is always gonna be better for you. First step is gonna be to remove the seeds from this pod. I have to say, the pod, the skin on this is like, it's thick. So to get the beans out, we need to crack one of these open. There's really no graceful way to do it. Like, I've watched a video, some guy just punched it. So I got a hammer, but this one has a crack in it, so I think I could probably just like rip it open. This stuff right here, this is the good stuff. That looks not good. That looks so gross. I noticed this in a lot of videos. The inside of a cocoa pod, it doesn't look very appealing. This is the gold we're looking for. These seeds covered in what looks like semen, honestly. This white stuff is actually called the mucilage.
Mucilage.
And it's actually found in a lot of plants. So this will be the first step of taking all the seeds and putting them into this cooler. I'm actually curious about how many there's actually gonna be. 51, so there was 51 in the smallest pod, wow. That does not seem like 50, it barely fills the bottom. This white stuff makes such a weird sound. That's how you know it's gonna be good chocolate. The thing about these seeds now that if you were to eat it, they wouldn't taste like chocolate at all. The chocolate taste that you're used to actually comes in the next step when you ferment it, which gives it the chocolate flavor. Whoa, it kind of tasted like a nut that I never tried before. And I like nuts. This step is pretty much done. I just need to do it for the rest of these. I want Kitty to help me with this. Okay, I don't know how I should open this one because the last one had a crack, which made it easier. She literally could not be less interested. Whoa, I got the good end this time. That's all of them, less than I expected. That's kind of a lot though. I should be able to make some chocolate out of that. To ferment, these need to be outside in the heat for about 5 days, and what happens is the yeast during the fermentation process churns the sugar into alcohol, and then that whole process is what infuses the beans with the chocolate flavor. I hope I said that right because I just learned this. And then after the 5 days, the end result should have the beans with no white stuff on it. That should have gone away, and the beans should be able to be in a position to be dehydrated. And luckily in Arizona, it is so hot right now that I think I'll just be able to do it on my balcony. And I'll hopefully be kind of filming updates each day. So then over the next 5 days, I let them sit out. I did every day and night check on them and drain any liquid at the bottom. And a lot of places say you can drink that juice that I drained, so I did. And it was surprisingly good. it tasted almost like a syrup. If you ever do get to try cacao juice, I would definitely recommend it. It did feel kind of weird drinking hot juice that accumulated at the bottom that this pile created. And during this whole fermentation process, I really didn't notice a change until I put something underneath to really let all the liquid absorb throughout the entire day. So I did that on the second day, and then the third day you really kind of started to see the fermentation process begin and the white stuff going away. And I learned that one way to check this process that it's working or that it's done, that if you cut one of them open, the middle should be more of a chocolate brown color compared to in the beginning when it was almost like a purplish. To be honest, the video I took, it kind of looks like chopped onions are in there. So I actually decided to leave it out an extra day, and by then all the white stuff was gone and it seemed like it was ready to move on to the next step, which took another 2 days. This step was pretty much just taking them out of the cooler and putting them in a dehydrator. Typically you would be laying it out in the sun kind of all day, but I don't really have the setup for that. Finally, after that, I was able to sit down and complete the final steps, which there's still a lot to do. It's a whole week later. I filmed last Monday and now it's the next Monday. And I have my fermented beans that I've been caring for like my own children. The next step is to roast them. Not that kind of roasting, but roasting in the oven. We're gonna put it for 275 for like 30 minutes. At least this time it's only 30 minutes. And this is where my dumb didn't turn on the mic, so this whole step is just muted. Look how stupid I look. It was only for this step though, which was pretty easy but very time consuming, where I'm basically just breaking the outer shell of the seed to just get the cocoa bean. This ended up taking about 2 hours. It typically is not done by hand, it's usually done by a machine. Now that that's done, it actually made a good amount. I'm only gonna be using this. If I have extra, I could put chocolate bars on the merch store. I think right now the beans are actually too hard to eat. Oh, that actually doesn't taste bad. It's like a really dark chocolate, which that's what it is. And the next step is gonna be to pretty much grind it down a lot. There's gonna be a lot of grinding. Then the more it gets grinded, the oil should come out and it should turn into more of a liquid. And this is also the steps that we're gonna be adding sugar and cacao butter. So you need to start with the sugar. It's doing a pretty good job. It's very fine. Still not completely liquid, but I think it's good enough that I can now put the cacao butter in. Now it's like a liquid. Look how good that looks. I could inject that. After looking at this, you would think you're pretty much done, but chocolate still goes through 2 more important steps. But since I'm doing it at home, I'm gonna kind of just skip it. They're very important, but like I'm not trying to make this high grade chocolate that I'm not Godiva. I still wanna talk about them because it is still part of the chocolate making process. The next step of chocolate making is something called conching the chocolate. Any kind of acidic flavor, it kind of takes away that through the airflow of constantly like mixing it. This is the machine that typically does it automatically. This could run for days sometimes. Typically, the last step is going to be to do something called tempering the chocolate. It allows the chocolate to kind of become stable and just settle everything at the right temperature to allow it to be kind of smooth looking. Since we're skipping those 2 steps, that means we're done. And this is the part that we have to pour the chocolate into the mold. They're done. They are so beautiful. To be honest, they kind of look like grenades, some of them. Could be war-themed chocolate. Now, the only thing left is to taste test it and see if my chocolate tastes like or not. I don't know how it's gonna be bad because I can just smell that it's good. Oh my God. This is gonna sound like a lie. That might be the best chocolate I've ever had. It's such a deep chocolate flavor. I don't know how to describe it. The aftertaste isn't that great though. So maybe I've had better chocolate. So it feels good to say that this was a success and I made pretty good chocolate. So there we go, that's the video. I have to say, this was a lot more fun, just the whole process of making it, than normal videos. I hope you all enjoyed watching. Maybe you took something away from it. I would definitely recommend maybe sometime in your life trying this out. It was just overall just kind of a fun project to do. Let me know if I should start selling pineapple chocolate merch. I'm saying this as a joke, but I know if I put that on eBay for like $100, someone would actually buy it. That one time I put a painting up for like $100, someone actually bought it. Like 6 people placed an order. I was gonna talk more about the strike, but honestly, I'm kind of over it now. I don't really care. Like, I was annoyed about it before, but now I kind of just want to not think about it. Basically, YouTube gave me a strike just because of a link in my description. That's it. Just in general, that's the kind of thing on YouTube that has become really annoying, that you have to think about every little thing. Is something small I discuss, is that gonna get the whole video demonetized? It's good that I already have my next few videos planned, that they're not ones that will get demonetized, I think. One of the videos that I'm planning on doing, I'm like kind of dreading filming that video. You guys are gonna enjoy it though. One thing I did want to mention, but not really officially, because I want to post a couple more videos before I officially look at it, but I now have an official subreddit. I was pretty much never gonna make a Reddit unless I got my URL, and I finally did. It wasn't easy though. So I'm not gonna do a Reddit video yet, but eventually I will look at the posts or the memes that you guys have posted on there. But I think that's all I wanted to talk about, so thank you all for making it to the end of this video. I love you guys, and hopefully I'll see you next time.